there are many complex features contained in the gender pay gap, many of which have their origins back in school. The sorts of specialties that men and women choose in med school, the sorts of interests that they have, the interests that they are encouraged towards, the barriers that are put in place to divert them from certain specialties into others that maybe you could produce a gender split along kind of high paid and low paid work.
Well, we've shown that there is actually a 17% total pay gap in medicine, which is a high gap for a single profession. And we've looked at where it's greatest and what the contributing factors are. And one big contributor is the fact that men tend to be in senior positions and older. Another interesting contributing factor is that specialties that have more men in, on the whole, have a bigger gender pay gap. Specialties that have the biggest gender pay gap are surgical specialties like urology and orthopaedic surgery. Specialties that have more women in them tend to have a lower gender pay gap.
The findings at the moment are not perhaps unexpected. The interest comes with the sorts of elements that underlie that gap. And at the moment, it is mainly within base pay, it is almost entirely the fact that women aren't making senior positions in equal proportions, and the fact that women tend to be younger and tend to have less experience than men doctors.
Now, some of it is just that women, as they get older and more senior in medicine, will earn more and the pay gap will reduce. And we've shown that that's started to happen already, but we want to encourage that. So we'd like to have policies that encourage, for example, part-time women to remain in the workplace and accrue bigger salaries and get to the top and get to leadership positions in medicine.
Within our qualitative interviews, we had women discussing the demands of the work, and particularly where they were trying to balance domestic responsibilities with the kind of work that they do, and the stress and difficulties with work-life balance that causes. The work of a medical doctor seems to be very structured and very demanding in terms of presence in the workplace, and therefore it really does stretch women who may bear the greater domestic responsibilities to the limit. So I think there's a lot of potential recommendations to be made around how to retain women doctors, the sorts of policies and practices that could be implemented to ensure that they're able to engage with the workforce, keep their skills up, and come back to work at the point that they feel that fits in with their lives. I would hope that our interventions would be implementable at the point that women are in work, and policies and practices can be improved to encourage them to stay in work, to progress in work, to succeed in work.
So the gender pay gap analysis that we've done is very relevant to less than full-time trainees, particularly because the majority of them are women. So the majority of them are likely to be affected by the kinds of things that contribute to the gender pay gap, like maternity, like part-time working. So it's a really important group to engage with. Women have an enormous amount to contribute to medicine, and it would be a great pity if we didn't support them all to contribute as much as they would like to.